And that's the second time I had crabs.
That makes me laugh every fucking time.
I'm talking about the seafood, man. What are you thinking?
I was thinking like you were on a crab boat, and I'm just like,
Crab fishing.
yeah, that's the second time my brother-in-law got crabs.
Crabs. It's bad. I was gonna say this is the second time I have herpes, but I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Because we all know it's scientifically impossible. Once you get herpes, it just don't go away.
Nope.
Stuck in my past, about to relapse. I keep running back to you.
Anyway.
Welcome back, everyone, to What Grinds Our Gears, the podcast where do your ears deceive you? Are we back to just the regular two OGs that started this whole shebang?
Sounds like it's just me and you, V.
Oh my god, it hasn't been us in just a long time.
I know. This feels weird.
Little
Feels
bit,
like home.
little bit. Anyway, you guys know it's me, V and Hubs, and right now we're just gonna talk a little bit about what happened recently because, well, it's Father's Day. We were just like, we got nothing else going on for the week because everything is like group projects, so let's talk E3.
Sure. And I'm gonna throw this out there right away. I haven't seen the whole E3. I have been watching the highlights. I have been, kind of peeking in on the ones that I'm interested in, but I've been looking at other things too, so hopefully I can keep up. Maybe you can enlighten me on some things as well, because there are some games that I missed that I did see. I don't know if they're going to be for console though or not.
That's an interesting discussion though right there, Aaron, because the stuff I saw, I mean, I skipped EA because EA is terrible this year. Everyone was just like, EA, go home, you're drunk. It's like, I'm not drunk, you're drunk. And
Well, it sounds like a lot of them missed the boat this time around, from what I've been seeing in the reactions and whatnot. Like, my wife was not at all impressed with Square Enix's conference.
I mean, the only thing I didn't like from any of the conferences was what they were showing for Dead Stranding. It got super fucking weird.
What is the game about?
Well, they go from, like, it's Norman Reedus appearing somewhere with his bare ass to the camera, but
Right.
for the conference, they're just like, we're gonna go inside this woman's womb and see this baby, where we see its bare ass before we see its eyeball, just staring at the camera. And then
I thought that was in Norman Reedus' throat.
No!
Like, the trailer I saw... No, seriously, V, the trailer I saw for this... Norman Reedus, okay, it was a long freaking... It wasn't a trailer. It was like it wasn't even a gameplay. It was I don't want to call it a demo. Maybe it was a demo. But Norman Reedus and he has a partner now. Are
Yeah,
in
the blonde
this
lady.
field. No. This was a guy.
No, I saw the
Trying to
blonde lady.
They're in like this field. It's dark outside, and there's like a vehicle laying on top of one guy. And then there's another guy next to Norman Reedus, and they're using this blinky flashlight thing that detects the shadows or whatever the hell they are. Anyways, shit gets real weird, and Norman Reedus is the only one to survive. And all of a sudden, everything gets, like, gravity disappears. Everything gets sucked up into the sky towards this, what was it, like a light or something? I can't remember. The Death Stranding demo thing that we saw or whatever. Anyways, he gets sucked into this light and then wakes up like he's underwater, and he's looking up above the water, and he starts swimming up, and then all of a sudden he blacks out and then wakes up on land, right? So he wakes up on land, and all of a sudden the camera, he yawns or opens his mouth or something, and the camera goes down into his fucking mouth, and that's where I saw the baby's ass, and then the baby's looking at you with the eyeball.
I didn't see that of the conference. I saw where it literally looked like it was a woman's womb, like you went straight down a vagina to see how a baby was born. They showed a blonde lady, and then Norman Reedus and this guy on this hill, to then having this other scenes of just like this whole big landscape, and then just showing up this later scene of Norman Reedus with this gun that's powered by a fetus that's only charged by a card that he shoves up his asshole. To then all of a sudden go back to the lady just like, your name is, to then be like, Dead Stranding. To where people are just now like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck it's about, or I have no clue. All I know is that there are shadows and that they're killing people, but we don't know why. And that the survivors have made like something that looks kind of like a spacesuit, but without the helmet, and this blinky flashlight that tells you when the shadows are near, and you're not supposed to breathe when they're near.
And apparently,
that's all I know.
We have guns where they're charged by fetuses, where the only way to power it is to shove a card up your ass.
So I have no idea where to go with that one. I don't even want to comment on it. It looks beautiful. There, it looks beautiful.
That's
looks what I have
pretty,
to say.
but it's just weird.
Yes, this could be like, okay, you remember Parasite Eve?
Yes.
This could break that level of weirdness.
Like, God fucking Christ.
Anyways, I have nothing else to say about Death Stranding because I know nothing more.
None of us do. The only other thing that was like prevalent at E3 was just like, hey guys, you like Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, no shit, bitch. What the fuck?
Actually, I will say one more thing about Death Stranding. Guillermo del Toro is on with this, like he was on with PT, correct?
I believe so.
This is the Kojima Guillermo del Toro thing, so we know it's going to be fucked up. I mean, have you seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I've seen Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 1 and 2, The Shape of Water.
Well, at least I could follow Hellboy 1 and 2. You know, Pan's Labyrinth, I had to actually, I had to pay attention, you know? This was basically a dying girl during World War II. Before she dies, she has this imagination where she escapes to her labyrinth or whatever the hell it is. It's fucked up. Anyways.
It's very fucked up, but at least it wasn't just like flash in the face, just like, hey, you guys still like Kingdom Hearts 3? Yes, bitch. Why are you jerking us off like this? Trying to give you that nice splooge effect of BAM! More trailers. Here we go with Frozen, Toy Story, Pirates of the Caribbean, Ratatouille. What?
And that's a Square Enix thing, right? Like that's the one thing that Square Enix came out with that everybody was like, woo, right?
Everyone lost their shit.
But here's what I figured out about Square Enix though. Because Jenny was so very underwhelmed with their conference. Aside, and she's not a humongous fan like I am of Kingdom Hearts, but I've decided that Square Enix is now basically a promoter. And that they don't even put out games anymore. They just promote them. A recent example of that was last year, wasn't it? Wasn't it December 2017 that Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to be remade or released?
Oh, God.
And then December hit, and they bumped it back to 2018 December. But they've been hyping it. Just like they hyped Kingdom Hearts 3 for how many years? I believe more than a decade now.
Way more than a decade.
And then they released these other games. They released Final Fantasy 15, which was a great game. I loved it. Right?
Yeah.
But it's not Final Fantasy 7, and it's not Kingdom Hearts 3. As a matter of fact, I don't even think they hyped Final Fantasy 7-15 that much.
Nope, they didn't even talk about it in their conference. The only thing they hyped up was this new game I'm looking forward to of The Quiet Man. This deaf guy that fights crime in the streets. I'm like, yo, let's do this!
It's like here, let's hype these games up and then we'll release this sleeper. Because we know that that'll ride on the coattails of the other games we know that people are going to buy. I'm worried. I am fearful that Final Fantasy VII is not going to live up to it. Neither will Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But other stuff that happened at E3 was the new samurai game that's set around the same time as the Mongols invading Japan for the first time.
That was at the Sony conference.
I mean, not the first time because there was a hurricane that kind of destroyed their boats, but the second time when they actually fought the Japanese and then got blown away by the hurricane.
You mean like kind of similar to what happened to Xerxes' army in the movie 300.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a hurricane. That was just a rainy night in Sparta.
Yeah. When you look up Japanese history, you're just like, wow, you guys are really fucking weird.
Yeah, but they're also really fucking tough. They invaded China, what, 2 or 3 times?
4 times, I believe, and
4
invaded
times?
Korea.
Jeez, I mean, come on. They are that little island with the little kid, that little or short person complex or whatever the hell it is. That's what they
Napoleon
are.
complex.
That's it, Napoleon complex.
But it looks so good. Where I was just like, I love Japanese history.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
You go ahead, Aaron. I could talk all day about this game.
No, I could too, because I saw this trailer, the gameplay demo that they played on the Sony conference.
Yes.
And I immediately had to go run in and show Jenny. And she immediately had to like geek out and tell all the kids, because it's like it has the elements of all the old school Japanese films, samurai films. You know, like right in the beginning of the demo, you get the example of, you know, there's the standoff between you and the bad guy, and then some leaves move across the ground, and then the bad guy goes to make his move, and it's a one swing kill. You know, just yeah. And then right into, and the fighting looks so fluid too. Not, and we'll touch on this next, but not as fluid as The Last of Us 2, but still looks extremely fluid and beautiful and good, and the graphics are amazing as well. So
I'm a huge fan of slow motion combat, so I'm gonna be buying that and The Quiet Man. That's gonna be bleeding my pocket like no one's business.
So Ghosts of Tsushima, that was that one.
Ghost of Tsushima, she.
And you get a grappling hook.
Yeah, I forgot that they did have grappling hooks during the Mongol invasion.
Well, and I was listening to some commentary about that demo as well, and the studio, they wanted to make it like historically accurate, but telling its own story, you know.
And it's a good thing that they did.
And they wanted to use a samurai, but they wanted to use a samurai kind of out of his element, because samurai aren't like, they're not, well, they weren't like assassins or sneaky, you know.
No. This was like before the age of the ninjutsu.
Right. So this is kind of a samurai out of his element, trying to do things differently than, you know, a samurai would normally, or handle things. And they didn't describe it as survivalist kind of, like, they said something about never mind. I'm not going to go anywhere with this thought because I just lost it. Anyways,
but speaking of stuff that we've lost, Last of Us 2 conference part of Sony.
That was,
before we get to the gameplay, let me just talk about how weird it was that they set up before they got to the gameplay of, let's first have this man play the banjo for you for like a solid 3 minutes before we even show the goddamn gameplay.
It was the same for Ghost of Tsushima. A guy came out and played an old Chinese flute. Yep, he played the Chinese flute for a good solid minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then the gameplay started. Sony has a thing for that, but hey, at least he was playing the Last of Us theme song, right?
I know, but I'm just like, why this hipster bullshit, Sony?
So,
oh god.
anyways, so on to the trailer itself. And the graphics are amazing.
Aaron, you okay?
Oh, you froze up a couple times there, V. You alright?
I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. For those of you guys that missed all that from either connection, gameplay is fantastic. Ellie's all grown up and finding her own girlfriend in the world, and the AI has become smart.
Extremely smart, apparently.
Which means if you're not stealthy, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, even if you are, like as we saw in the trailer, Ellie tried to hide underneath a car, and they still found her. Twice. They found her twice.
Yep.
And dragged her out the second time. Or no, it was just once. They found her. Yeah, the lady found her. She shoots her in the face, and then some guy pulls her out of the car. That's what happened. Or under the car. That's what happened.
And it's just so much more brutal to the point where I'm like, where is Joel in this timeline now?
And we know Joel is there. We know he's there from the teaser trailer, right? So we know he's got to have some part in the game. Will he be playable? We don't know.
I don't think I could see him being playable per se in the large majority of the game. I could see him being involved, but not playable for like everything until like the very end.
I think that it's going to be like the first Last of Us, where you got to play Ellie, but it was for like a specific mission. You know. Good night.
Nighty night. Anyway.
Like Ellie in The Last of Us, the first one, you got to play her in specific parts of the game, but Joel was the main focus, right? So I think in this one they're going to reverse it, where Ellie is the main focus, but I think you'll get to play Joel. Or if not, then maybe they'll make it a reward. Like, you beat the game this many times or something, you could play as Joel. Who knows?
Maybe find out his story, like, in between the events of the first and second game. That'd be nice.
Anyway, I was gonna say, because me and Jenny were like, after the first one, you couldn't make a second one without Joel and Ellie. You like, that is The Last of Us. That's those two. You know, so the story has to involve Joel somehow or some way. It's got to. I would say otherwise I'd be disappointed, but I have a feeling I won't be disappointed, even if it doesn't. So.
I mean, as much as I could rag on certain characters from The Last of Us, like that brother pair that I still hate to this very day, I'm just like, I could appreciate the sequel for what it's going to be and how much fans are hyping it up to be a great game. What I can't condone is everyone trying to hype up this new Spider-Man game coming out in September because no one gives a shit about Peter Parker almost getting killed by the Sinister Six.
Honestly, everybody's been hyping that, you know, open world, this and that, and the web slinging looks fluid and blah, blah, blah. And I'm remembering the original
2.
Spider-Man. Yeah. I'm remembering when Tobey Maguire was playing Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man game came out, and I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? That was like Grand Theft Auto for Spider-Man. What are you talking about?
We got to fight Mysterio. We got to fight alongside Black Cat, who sexually teased us the whole damn game. I think we fought. I think Carnage was like either the second or third game.
I don't know, but either way, the game doesn't look any different than those. Just better graphics.
Just more polished.
And I hope I'm wrong, because I love me some Spider-Man games. Like Spider-Man Edge of Time, I liked that game. That was a good game. And you got to see Venom. The good Venom. The white Venom.
Oh, Anti-Venom.
Yeah, that's Anti-Venom. You even got to play as him. And you got to play as Spider-Man 2099. That was like the whole base for that game. It was about Spider-Man's Peter Parker and then connecting with Spider-Man 2099 because there was a rifted time or some shit and whatever, and then Anti-Venom's there. It was a good game. I really liked it. I own it for that matter. But this one, I really hope it's good, but I just don't. Everything that it's being hyped for doesn't seem any different than the original ones. Do you see what's going on behind me right now, V?
I do. I'm just like, I'm listening to you, but I'm just caught off guard by all that in the background. What the?
For everyone out there listening, this is why I'm stuttering and pausing right now. Is because I have a thought and I can't get it out because of this that's going on behind me.
I'm doing curtsy squats. You shut.
You can't do it in the craft room? Oh my goodness. It's supposed to be Father's Day. What is this? I see a butt. Now V sees a butt.
And you know, as fathers, we don't get a damn thing on Father's Day.
Neither do moms all that much either. So.
They get more love than us. Shit.
So, anyways, Spider-Man. Yeah, we hope it's better than it looks, right? Is that basically where we're going with it?
Oh, I don't give a fuck if it's better than what it looks or not. I just don't give a damn about Peter Parker. Give me a game about like Ben Reilly, Miles Morales, Miguel.
You know,
O'Hara.
I'll bet you that Miles Morales will make an appearance because he was teased in the movie.
Oh no, he's appearing in the game because of trailers that happened a few years back. He's already he's already set to appear, but it's just like, why didn't we get a game focused on him or Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen or Spider-Girl or Silk or Spider-Woman?
I want a Gwenpool game.
Gwenpool would be great too.
But honestly, I don't have a problem with Peter Parker. I understand. Peter Parker's the only Spider-Man I really knew before talking to you and then learning of the Spider-Verse, as it were, not the Madam Web and all of that, but the Spider-Verse from like Edge of Time and other Spider-Man games. Because as you know, I so disappointingly quit reading comic books a long time ago.
Oh, me too, Aaron. It's fine.
So I never kept up with the whole universe and who's who and what's what. So I guess for me personally, because I'm out of date and old, I like Peter Parker. He's the one I grew up with, right? But I totally get what you're saying, because there are so many other Spider-Mans out there, minus Ultimate Spider-Man. We don't want to talk about him, right?
No. Unless we want to talk about how Miles Morales was the better Ultimate Spider-Man to piss off fans, let's avoid that topic for the comic book people.
So we're avoiding Ultimate Spider-Man. Anyways, just make a note of that. But yeah, I could definitely see it. I mean, every movie so far that's come out, every game that's come out, they've all basically only had him. Peter Parker.
Goddamn Parker.
And I think they do it well. I know why the Marvel Universe did it, the cinematic universe. It's Peter Parker's the original Spider-Man. So they want to tell the original Spider-Man story because he's the original, Avenger of the Spider-Man.
Oh, good night.
I love you too. Good night.
Nighty night. So.
Anyways, to end that thought, but I definitely see, since the Marvel Cinematic Universe has made exceptions to the rules with other heroes, they're now part of the Avengers, like Guardians of the Galaxy. They could have definitely put Miles Morales easily in there without having ruffled any feathers about Peter Parker. You know what I mean?
Speaking of ruffling feathers, nighty night. There's this thing that I kind of was talking about when I got invited to do this conference thing for Nintendo on like one of the days of a E3. The thing that people kept telling me was just like Microsoft dropped 50 games that were coming out both this year and next year, and I'm just like, 50 games? Who called for this dick swinging contest?
Yeah, but it didn't sound like Microsoft did all that well at the conference.
No, all they did was just announce a lot of games that were either just minimal exclusive games or stuff that was going to be cross-platform, like Devil May Cry 5, which I'm going to be playing the fuck out of.
Which, that was originally a Sony exclusive, correct?
Correct. And then, and then Devil May Cry 4 happened, where everyone's just like, I want it on Xbox! Can you get it on Xbox? I want it on my Xbox! Alright, fine, you little bitch, here you go.
And then Microsoft doles out a shitload of money just to get that game exclusive for what, like 3 months?
3 months before it then goes everywhere.
Right. So exclusivity is kind of a non-issue with Microsoft anymore, because even Titanfall came to the PlayStation. So the only thing Microsoft really solely has exclusive sounds like, the original Halo, which I didn't hear anything about at this E3. Not the original Halo, but I mean the Halo franchise, which I did not hear anything about at this E3 yet so far. Well, E3's over, so I won't hear. What else do they have? Microsoft owns all the rights to the rare characters, right? Like Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo-Kazooie and all them. Right?
Yeah, they also announced some stuff of Beyond Good and Evil.
That is an Xbox exclusive as well, correct?
I don't know. It was on like
Well, I know it's on PC, but I can't find anything about it on Sony, so I don't think it's ever been on a Sony platform.
No, I remembered that Beyond Good and Evil was on the PlayStation back in the day. That was a really underappreciated gem. But,
Really? Okay.
Like, it was one of the best games that had a female protagonist that actually did all the work herself. But people didn't really buy into it, like they didn't buy into Psychonauts or Brutal Legends that well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw the thing for Beyond Good and Evil. It looked really good. I mean, it looked interesting. I'm not a Beyond Good and Evil fan because I've never played it. Right?
I only played parts of it.
It's called Beyond Good and Evil, and we can't. I don't think we can get it. I looked it up today on